one of the most intriguing places of Rome, Santa Maria del Popolo. The church collects several important works of several important artists, among which we remember Raphael, Caravaggio, Bernini, Carlo Fontana, and Bramante, including, of course, one of the most famous decorative painters of 1400 called Pinturicchio. One of the most intriguing things about this church is the presence of symbolic animals. Animals, they symbolize the value of a certain family, and also they were represented in the overcoat of arms, among which the most famous is the dragon, that appear in several important families, among which in this case we have the Boncompagni family, a very important and rich family of Rome. Another symbology of power is related to another famous animal of heraldry, the lion. The lion is represented in many different contests. It's also the symbol of the Republic of Venice. It was also for a while a symbol of Florence. And the lion in this case, of course, is clear, the symbology. It's related to an important family called Odescalchi. And now, as you can see, we have another symbol of power, the eagle. It's useless to talk about the symbology of eagle. It's very old, it belongs to the antiquity and so on. So in this case, the eagle reminds the glory because it goes to the sky and so on. But actually, this monument is much more sophisticated than we think, because not only it's a combination of different colors of marble, but also we have a piece of bronze that reminds again the idea of strength and power. It's the oak. The oak is the most famous symbol of power in botany because the wood is very, very strong. In Latin, the name of the wood it's robur, from which you have a rovere. It's another famous symbol of another important family in Rome, among which the Pope Julius II. The acorn. So in this case, this monument is very intriguing because it's combining the presence of animal and botany with rocks and the smoke that is going to the heaven. Not only, but notice, for instance, how beautiful is the combination of different marble, bronze, you have gold, and look how sophisticated is the profile of Maria Flavinia Odescalchi. That reminds very much an old classic cameo. In this other case, the lion appeared together with another important animal. In this case, we are in front of an animal that looks to be like a bee, but actually, when you read the inscription, you find out that it's the so-called Arab phoenix. In fact, from his burning, as you can see, then there is a kind of resurrection from the same ashes, in which the phoenix is reborn to a new life. So this evidently is recalled the resurrection of the death. Don't forget that all these symbols are related to the death. Here we are in front of one of the most extraordinary representations of the death. So it really looks like a very old woman, even if this sounds almost like a caricature, of course. But the presence of the death in a church is related to the fact that all the churches in the past were also cemeteries. So this strange representation of the death transformed the same death in something more human. In this case, the tomb is very late. We are at the end of 1800 and represent directly the end of the life. This lady is going away and trying to ask to the angel of the death the mercy. Among the several tombs that we have in this church, the most intriguing, or if you want also the most common, if we talk about the 1400, are the tombs in which the sitter is directly represented, lay down on the bed, so sleeping forever. Certain tombs, of course, they deserve a much more important and intriguing explanation. For instance, in this case, we have an unusual symbology, even if it belongs to the antiquity. There are three heads in one face, that of course may be interpreted as the symbol of God, the Trinity, or even the symbol of eternity. In this case, the tomb is looking directly towards the altar, or better to say, the people representing the tomb is praying and looking towards the main altar. In this case, we have a representation of the death indirectly, because it's representing a man that is freezing, so it represents the winter, so it represents the coldness that is characteristic of the death. The intriguing part of this sculpture is that it reveals a strong influence of Michelangelo.